Guys, Music Man here. Happy Father's Day, everybody. And today I would like to bring you another Identity V video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some Survivor gameplay that I had when I was playing the Lucky Guy. And I ended up recovering a match from what should have been a loss, and we ended up pulling into a draw. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I am the Lucky Guy in this match, and I am playing with the forward in this one. So we're right here, we're talking together, so we know what's going on. Also, tip for survivors, this may seem kind of obvious, but it's a lot easier to play the game the more players there are in a team, because you know exactly where the hunter's at, know whether it's safe to decode and everything. So yeah, that's just a tip. The 4VC team is a lot scarier to go against as a hunter than what it is to go against people all doing solo rank. So I'm just kind of going around. The Enchantress is the first one being chased, and it's honestly a pretty rough start to the game. It was a pretty mediocre kite, I would say. And I'm playing with the forward here. He accidentally hits the pallet, but that's okay. He makes up for it later. So he ends up doing his charge, getting the rescue. I would say honestly it was probably a pretty rushed rescue, but the good thing that he does is he does what every survivor should do when they're rescuing, especially if you're a forward or another player that has a relatively low decoding speed, especially like forward, is that you body block and you do whatever you can to get in the hunter's way. So because of that, the Enchantress was able to escape. Me and the Perfumer are able to get two of the ciphers done, and the Geisha is taking the chair. So what happens next is the Perfumer is actually the one that's going to go to the rescue. So I'm like, okay, Perfumer's got this. Perfumer is a fairly decent rescuer if you know how to use her properly. So the one thing that you have to do when you're going against a rescue of a Geisha is that you have to bait the drop, because if they swing on the way down and hit you, and then you're not going to be able to, then she gets no attack recovery, which means that she can double hit you really easily. So the Perfumer ends up getting terror shocked in the chair. It's a really unfortunate thing. So I'm like, okay, what can I get from this chest? The Enchantress is just decoding there. I didn't know if the Enchantress had stuns, if she thought she could do it with like a 3-stun or something, but that didn't happen. So I knew it was going to be really close on whether I was going to be able to get to the forward or not. But I end up using, I brought window boost with me, and that ended up being just enough for me to be able to make it to the forward. Now there's a bunch of peepers over here, which makes it really difficult to move fast. Use my perfume, body block, and then take away the damage. So that's exactly what what a Perfumer should be doing, is you try to get the rescue in, and then you use your perfume to try to block if the hunter's not face camping. Otherwise, you can justify doing it slightly before you rescue. Now, the forward's like, I'm dead on chair. I know I'm not going to survive this match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to buy as much time for my team as I can. Meanwhile, at this point, he's buying time for the Enchantress to decode, and he's buying time for me and the Perfumer to heal up. So, yep, you can see there, he ends up getting down. He's dead on chair, so he's going to be eliminated. So, at this point, I'm trying to make my way to a chest. I always wish for a flare gun, but the thing with Lucky Guy is you gotta kind of work with what you get. And I think honestly the Enchantress shouldn't have tried to make it to wedding through the back. I think she should have tried going back to like all the walls and the kind of easier tight kiting areas. She should have continued running there instead of allowing the Geisha to get an easy hit like that. But either way, ooh. Excuse me, ooh, I had to sneeze. The Perfumer is going in for a rescue. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to try to get as much decoding done to try to prime that last cipher. But what happens here is also really unfortunate. So you can see on the right that the Enchantress, the countdown's almost done, and you can see she's trying to bait out the drop there, and ends up being successful with that. Now here is her mistake. The Geisha ends up hitting her. She should have done the rescue and then tried to save, but instead she tried to undo the damage and then save. So what I'm doing is I'm making my way to the final cipher. Perfumer is being chased, so that puts us in a really difficult position. So really what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get that last cipher decoded as quickly as I can for the Perfumer. While meanwhile, the Perfumer is actually doing a really good job. I didn't even realize this was kind of something that survivors could utilize, but Geisha can't really get there. You can just kind of infinite loop there, but the Geisha here ends up going to my cipher, and I try to hide here, but it was kind of clear that eventually she was going to get the symbol over her head, which means that I can't really hide for long. So now the Perfumer, we switch roles. The Perfumer is the one that's trying to the one that's trying to finish that cipher, and right now I'm just trying to run away from this Geisha that's trying to chase me down. So I'm trying to buy the Perfumer just enough time without getting downed, and this is why I bring a kiting persona with Lucky Guy, because he actually doesn't have a lot of tools to kite. But anyways, this cipher becomes primed really soon. I end up getting lucky that didn't hit, but she ends up getting out here, and the cipher machine is primed, so I'm like, okay, I'll see if I can get this vault here. Now she has to go through a window there, and I'm trying to bring the Geisha away from the gate, who ends up like not following me and going straight to the gate. So now the Geisha is going to be chasing the Perfumer, who ended up opening a chest to get some gauntlets here, but back to the infinite loop trying to buy me time. I end up going to the other gate. See, I'm like, Perfumer, hopefully you can make it over there, but it's good that the Perfumer doesn't just end up giving up. She's trying to stall enough time for the detention to run out, and this is why it's sometimes useful to bring broken windows, or not broken windows, the wall trait for hunters, just because sometimes you get things like this and you can't, there's no conceivable way that you can catch the survivor. So now the Perfumer is just trying to go around again. The Geisha's trying to mind game her, but she's doing a good job keeping an eye out for the hunter. And when she rises up, she just ducks next to a window so that she can't teleport. But I'm like, okay, it's kind of clear that the Perfumer is not really going to make it out of that. So then what I do is I end up, yeah, that was a really unfortunate thing that happened. She ended up luckily being able to teleport there, but so now she's forced out of the infinite loop. And she's over there. I ended up wishing for a syringe so that I could heal up to try to take a hit for her. So this Perfumer is actually doing a really good job. So now detention is out, so that buys her a little bit more wiggle room. So now I'm making it over here, and I'm like, okay, can I get the exit gate open for the Perfumer to escape? So I'm trying to do like a little assist thing right here. And she ends up seeing that. She's like, okay, I'm struggling with the Perfumer. I'm going to chase the Lucky Guy now. So she teleports over to me. The Perfumer's already been hit once. But that door is almost done. It's so close right now. And I end up seeing that she's actually chasing me now. So I thought that should have been a pallet stun here, but I'm in a really tough scenario. So I end up doing that, barely get the window jump there. So now I decide, okay, it's now or never. I end up getting the door open, the geisha misses, I escape, and the perfumer gets the dungeon, and that's the game. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and let me know in the comment section below what you thought. Thanks for watching. Happy Father's Day.